Hi everyone, it's Lyn from Lyn's Crafts. I'm gonna share a new painting technique with you, and it's new to me too. I'm gonna be using some Pigment Inks re-inkers. This is Stampin' Up brand. This is Sukaniko, Stampin' Up, and Sukaniko. Alright, I'm gonna start with this Sukaniko in Pacific, and I'm gonna work on the face. I probably won't do the shells in the Pigment Inks, only because I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do with those yet. But alright, so I'm gonna start with the Pacific. And just a drop. I know I probably won't need that much. So I've just got a little cup of alcohol over here, 91% alcohol, to dilute it a little bit, because I want it to have kind of a, not really a wash effect, but kind of a drippy effect. So I'm going to just start off right along her hairline. Maybe I should try flooding her whole face first. Alright. Then I'll go back with a little color. A little under her eyes. See if I can get that to drip down a bit. Alright. I may change that a bit, but for now that's going to work. Alright, then I've got it in Lovely Lilac. If you know anything about me, I'm not really a purple, pink kind of chick. So the tiniest little drop. And you see I didn't even clean my brush off. Whoa. That is so not a lilac color. Well, I'm sure it is when it's on a stamp pad, but alright, and then the Sukaniko in Green Tea. Again, just the tiniest drop. not really the color I wanted, but I didn't have a inker in that color. And it's not bad, but alright, I kind of like it for now. So I said. Try to be sure you put the caps back on the right color, huh? Because I almost stuck the purple lid back on the green ink. Alright, I'm going to let that dry and then I'll be back. Alright, this is the Stampin' Up! In the metallic silver, I guess. In the metallic, anyway. I don't know how well this will work because I haven't tried it before. Oh, wow. I didn't expect it to be that thick. Whoa, it's pretty silver, too. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. Alright. Normally I would paint the shells before I did the silver, before I did the background. And the reason I'm doing this is because I've been asked many times about these. And thanks to one of my lovely subscribers, I actually have some to play around with. Alright, I really like the way that's covering. And the reason I said I would normally do the shells before the background is because sometimes it's beneficial to paint things in a certain way, because when you do the shells, any mistakes you make, any bleed over from painting the shells, you'll cover up with the silver, with the background color. Alright, I'm going to finish painting this background and then I'll be back. Alright, pretty so far. Alright, I've got this color. This is a DecoArt and it's Oyster Pearl. And it really is just a pearly. It's a little more silver than the regular white pearl. Maybe you can see that. Just need a little bit. I'm going to just hit the top of the pearls. Wow, and you really can't even see it. But I'm going to add a little bit of another color on top. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, this is also by DecoArt, and it's the Interference Violet. Alright, which is basically a translucent color that just has a bit of a violet mica in it. There we go. Alright, so they do kind of have a little bit of a pearly look. I'm eventually going to go over this with some antiquing to give her a little bit of shadows and stuff. But for now, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll be back once I decide what color I'm going to do the shells. Alright, I've got 3 Americana paints here. The warm white, which is a little... It's a warm white. It's a little less than beige, but it's a yellower white. A warmer white. Burnt umber. And this one is burnt orange. Alright, so I'm going to start with the warm white and give all 3 of the shells just a coat of the warm white. Alright. Just to give it a little opaquer look than just the plain resin. Because the shells are resin. Alright, I'm just going to give all 3 of the shells, I would say a quick coat, but it's not really so quick. Alright, and I'll be right back. Alright, while it's still wet, I'm going to add just a couple of dots of color You know how shells will usually start out with one color and kind of fade into another. So that's what I'm trying to do. Alright, so I like that one. And I'm really just getting a dot on the end of my paintbrush. I'm sorry that I'm so quiet. I'm concentrating. A little too hard. Alright, and then on the last one, I'm just going to do the umber. The burnt umber. Well, they're sort of realistic looking. Alright, I'm going to let those dry and then I'll be back. Alright, I've got another one of the DecoArt. This is the fluid acrylics. Pretend y'all didn't see that. I would never intentionally drop my paintbrush in the paint. Again, just the tiniest drop. That is way too much. I just decided these shells needed a little more color. I'm so sorry if I was off frame. Yeah, I kind of like that a little better, but... Alright, I'm going to let this dry, and then I'm going to put on a coat of a satin sealer, just to seal it before I antique it. Oh! One of the things I forgot to say is, the pigment inks are heat set inks, so they will heat set once you bake the clay. I did heat over them with my heat gun just a bit to get them to set before I put the satin glaze on. And this satin glaze is the Vera Thayne satin glaze. I'm afraid mine's getting old. It's gotten a little yellow. This was a gift that I received from one of my subbies. I've got it in the gloss as well. It's a great product though. Alright, so I've coated it with a coat of that, and as you can see, it's changed the color quite a bit. That's just because it's wet. I'm going to let it dry and then I'll be back. Okay, I apologize, I didn't film this part. I just took a little of the Pacific color of the alcohol of the pigment ink and gave the silver just a little bit of shadow. Alright. I did go back over the silver after I put the satin finish on because it dulled it down a little too much. So I put the silver back on, heat set it with my heat gun, and now I'm going back with the very, very watered down, alcohol inked down. Alright, I'm going to let this dry and see if I want to do anything else to it. It's not really one of my favorites, but let's see which pearl is going to go best with. This is the Interference Violet one I did. This one is the Interference Gold one I did. And this is just the pearl one I did. I really do think I like the Interference Violet one with it best. Who would have thought? Alright. So I'm going to let that dry like I said, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to do anything else to it or call it good. I really think I would call it good if it wasn't for the sheen on the face. I may go and add a little of my matte varnish. Let me show you that. My turntable would spin, it would help. It's the Golden's polymer varnish with UVLS in the matte, and it is very flat. It's a very matte finish. It will take the sheen right off that face. Alright, so like I said, I'll decide that. And I really think I'm done for now. So thanks so much for watching. What the heck. I'm gonna go ahead and matte the face. Because of course I can always add the satin back to it if I don't like the matte finish. move the pearl out of the way. So I don't want to matte it. I might have to look at it off camera, see if I've got it all. Possibly. It's hard to tell when you're putting the matte over a satin finish until it's dry. I really wanted to show you how matte it really is. I'm going to use my heat gun for just a second. Alright, you can see I have missed a few spots, but you can definitely tell how matte the finish is. And I do actually think I like it better. Alright, so I'll finish up the matte finish, and that's it for this one. Still not one of my favorites, but it's done. So I shall holler at y'all later. Bye now.